Alors est-ce que... Alors, d'accord, ok, on va faire comme ça. Les questions vont suivre immédiatement les interventions. Alors, est-ce qu'il y a des questions sur ce thème
Are there any
de
questions
l'agence
on
qui
this topic for tomorrow's
souhaite
agency?
intervenir?
Who'd like to take the floor?
Je m'appelle
My name is Nyanda
directeur général
Derantore,
Office
Director
national
General
de
of the
l'emploi et la
National
main-d'œuvre
Office, Employment Office
Excusez-moi,
in Congo, Brazzaville.
voilà pourquoi mes voix.
I'm sorry, my voice is a little,
Karine.
it's hurting a little bit.
Ce qu'elle a exposé, c'est peut-être pas
What
une question,
my colleague has just presented
nous aussi, nous avons souvent dans notre tête. C'est ce que
is reflecting what we have in our mind, what we do have, especially in Congo.
mais on est le demandeur d'emploi
The job seeker,
par rapport au nombre d'appels d'offres.
we are actually quite limited by the number of tender that we have. We always need to be able to bounce back and find the right products for the right company. So I was wondering the rate of placement you're actually carrying out whenever you need to place a product, and I call him product. It's a humorous way to describe the job seeker who's actually looking for a job, and what will he do if he does not get satisfied by our services. We need to make sure that the welcoming, the reception is working efficiently, that we need to make sure to be able to offer something very specific and very concrete. I'd like to know the percentage. I'd like to make sure of what we are capable to offer, especially in terms of job offers. We are more, we tend to give more bad news than anything else, when it comes to having to let go people. And so within the agency, we made the relationship with the collaborator more human. It is true that a lot of people are not qualified for these digital transition. As I was telling you, I work in an agency in a rural area, and our idea is just to make sure we bring them to get acquainted with all these new devices. Whenever you have employers that are going through these internet processes, online processes to recruit their employees, we need to do something about it. If the job seeker hasn't been trained for that, then where actually can they meet? So we often say we need to do more for the people that need it the most. Well, I think it is a very good example. Most of the time in our agency, we receive people that need to get to learn, to be trained for this digital era. Otherwise, they won't be able to access any offers. So this is the main goal of tomorrow's agency: make sure that we train our audience to be device compatible. So we bring them to train themselves, and you do know that nowadays training is not happening without digital devices. whenever the counselor tells her, well, you know, you can no longer exert this job because you don't have the proper training anymore. It's something hard, you know. Whenever you go, you always try to create a good working relationship, and that should apply to our agencies and the work with all of our counselors. We are facing a population that that is quite vulnerable and that need help for the digital transition. I would like to be more specific on one thing. You can try to just improve their job-seeking condition, but with the fall of the prices of oil, everything has been changing. A lot of the companies are letting people go instead of recruiting. This is how we are actually not able to provide a lot of job offerings. Well, the difficulty is that we're not the one that are able to create employment. It is not our duty. It is not part of our mission to create employment. We of course had a huge crisis since 28. But the situation is slowly changing. It's getting a little better, and our work is to make the demand and the offerings meet halfway. And this is how we place our job seekers well. Again, our mission is not to create employment. Do we have other interventions? Other contributions? Mrs. Gauvin? Thank you very much. I think it's a very global contribution, but these are the necessary requirement to improve the service relationship with our users. The rest is just about the labor market. But there's another lever that we've already been facing since numerous years is having to focus on these client relationship and to take care of these users' experience, implying also the counselors. There's a way, there's a mobilization lever, and it's something a bit tricky to explain, because you do need to change your organization, your postures, and this is what we're going through on a daily basis. But we do manage to overcome and go through these challenges successfully. We were hearing this guy on the video talking about how the pride, of the first results obtained for these Tomorrow's Agency projects. We're experimenting, we're testing. We can change our organizations on any level and work on commitment, on mobilization, paying attention, trying to work in a participatory fashion. So I think that's a pretty accurate image of reality. we can, and you can, I think you can use these concepts for many fields, but the pride one gets and out of working in a collective fashion and to participate and help develop all these skills is one of the important levers of efficiency of our services. So I think we'll have other opportunities to see that during other presentation, but that's what I wanted to highlight.
Ouais, merci madame.
Thank you very much
Madame Gauvin vient de dire, tout à fait normal.
for what you just said, Mrs. Gauvin. I think, yeah, we've all watched the video, and the question is, what is the role of an SAP, of a PS, sorry. Whenever, if I'm a job seeker, I need to get out of this agency thinking that I have promising chances to find a job in order to satisfy our job seekers. I think I had the opportunity to capitalize some of the information that were given during the video. So we need to have the right tools to be able to face this very aggressive world. Sometimes people come 3, 4, 5 times without getting the information they were seeking. We need to have worked upstream in order to be able to provide information. For instance, telling about the business counselors that have a relationship with companies and that are working in that regard, where we need to work more with the companies to orientate our tenders, for instance, and this has an impact on the satisfaction rates, and is a way to feel pride as well. So let's try to focus on the relationship we can develop with the companies, a trustworthy relationship, to make sure tenders actually occur. Sometimes we go through 2-3 months with very few tenders.
Thank you, Mr. Linda from Congo. Is there someone else who wants to say something?
I speak in English. My name is Petru Blanariu, and I come from the Romanian PES. I'd also like to share some experiences related to this issue in Romania. We have also tried to diversify the channels for delivering the services, and I saw how you organize the entry in the PES, and how do you want to deal with the clients. We have also tried over the last few years to develop some self-service centers, and we also had a project that was funded by the European Union to this end. And we created these centers almost in all of our county agencies, and what we have realized is the fact that most of the clients don't want to use these services. And why? Because as our colleagues said, the job seekers, when they come to our offices, they are not happy. Usually they come with a big problem facing. Maybe they are dismissed, or they haven't had a job for a long period of time. And in most of the cases, they need a special support. And that's why all the times they are looking for an employment advisor to discuss with them, to share their problems with them, and to ask for their support. And we thought initially that maybe if we develop this alternative services, the workload of our advisors will not be so high anymore. But what we have seen that that didn't happen. So most of the clients, when they come, they want to discuss with an advisor to find solutions to the problems. We prepare together an action plan for them. So they are looking for individualized support from the advisors. Of course, it's true that it's very important to have different channels to be able to, if they want to use these different channels. But the personalized support, discussing with an advisor is very important. Thank you.
Merci. Je sais pas si Madame.
Thank you. I don't know if Mrs. Valencia wants to say something. I completely agree. Here we saw some images of the reception of tomorrow's agency, but of course most of the people speak to their counselor and go to our agencies to see a counselor.